Hello, and I welcome you to the UPSC Prelims Chaturya series of Shantha Lakshmi IAS Academy, wherein we would be discussing daily prelims MCQs from the Hindu, Indian Express, and PIB. First question, with reference to tuberculosis, consider the following statements. It is caused by bacteria, it is a vector-borne disease, it is both a preventable and curable disease. Fourth statement, tuberculosis only affects the lungs of the humans. How many of the above statements either are correct? Only 2, only 3, only 1, all of the above. So this tuberculosis has been in the news because World Health Organization has released the Global Tuberculosis Report 2023. So that's why it has been in the news. If we look at the answer to this question, statement 1, it is caused by the bacteria. Yes, it is caused by a bacteria, that is Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Second statement, it is a vector-borne disease. No, it is not a vector-borne disease. It is an airborne disease because the transmission is through air, cough, and sneeze as well. So this is an airborne disease, not a vector-borne disease. Statement 2 is wrong. Third statement, it is both a preventable and curable disease. Yes, it is a preventable and curable disease because we have a treatment for curing tuberculosis. Fourth statement, tuberculosis only affects the lungs of the humans. No, it doesn't only affect the lungs of the humans. It do affects other parts of the body such as brain, kidney, spine as well. But it usually affects the lungs of the human. It doesn't only affect the lungs of the humans. So statement 4 is wrong. How many of the above statements are correct? 1 and 3 statements were correct. So only 2 of the above statements were correct. Option A is the right answer. If you look at some of the key findings of this Global TB Report 2023, which was released by World Health Organization, the World Health Organization under End TB strategy has set a target of reducing 50% of the tuberculosis cases by the year 2025. But if you look at the progress from the year 2015 to 22, the net reduction of the cases was only just 8.7%, which is we are very far from the target. So in 2022, the global number of new tuberculosis diagnosed cases has reached 7.5 million, which is very huge number. 30 high tuberculosis burden countries accounted for 87% of the world's tuberculosis cases in the year 2022. And out of this, 2/3 of the global total were in just 8 countries. The India accounts for 27% of these cases. So this tuberculosis is caused by a bacteria, that is Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It usually affects the lungs. The tuberculosis that affects the lungs is known as pulmonary tuberculosis, but it do affects other parts of the body such as kidney, spine, brain. The transmission is through air, cough, sneeze, and spit. Symptoms include cough with sputum or blood at times and chest pain. And this is a treatable and curable disease. It is treated with a 6-month course duration treatment. 24th March is celebrated as World Tuberculosis Day. One of the main issue with regarding tuberculosis is it's resistant, the bacteria resistant to the tuberculosis drugs, anti-tuberculosis drugs. So in treating tuberculosis, first we would be going with the first line anti-tuberculosis drugs. If they show resistant to this first line drugs, then we would be going to the second line, then third line. So if bacteria is showing resistant to one of the first line anti-tuberculosis drugs, then it is known as monoresistance. If bacteria is showing resistant to all of the first line anti-tuber drugs, it is known as multi-tuber drug resistant tuberculosis. Coming to the extensively drug resistant tuberculosis, this is the most serious one because here the bacteria do not even respond to the most effective second line anti-tuberculosis drugs. And according to the World Health Organization Global TB Report 2022, the new cases of the TB are attributable to 5 risk factors. The risks were undernourishment, HIV infection, alcohol use disorders, smoking, especially among men, and diabetes. These were 5 risk factors. What is India's target to eliminate TB? It has set a target to eliminate TB by the year 2025, which is 5 years ahead of the global target set by the World Health Organization, that is 2030. So India's target to eliminate TB is by the year 2025. World Health Organization's target is 2030. What are the initiatives by India? The Nikshay Ecosystem is a web portal to monitor the tuberculosis cases in the country. Nikshay Poshana Yojana is a scheme to provide financial support to tuberculosis patients. And the TB Harega Desh Jeetega campaign, it was launched in the years 2019 for the elimination of tuberculosis. Saksham project, it was developed by Tata Institute of Social Sciences, where it will provide counseling to drug-resistant tuberculosis patients. The Patho Detect Kit, it is India's first indigenous tuberculosis detection kit that can detect tuberculosis. It was developed by Pune-based MyLab. What were the global commitments to eliminate tuberculosis? We have Moscow Declaration. So this Moscow Declaration is all about to increase our action and enhance the accountability towards ending tuberculosis by the year 2030. The World Health Organization will also provide targets to each country under National Strategic Plan for Tuberculosis. End TB strategy of World Health Organization set to reduce the tuberculosis incidence by the 80% and to tuberculosis deaths by 90% and to eliminate catastrophic costs for TB affected households by the year 2030. Find, Treat All, End TB. This is a joint initiative of World Health Organization, Stop Tuberculosis Partnership and Global Fund to diagnose and treat people with tuberculosis. What is the vaccine that is used for tuberculosis? BCG vaccine is used. Most common vaccine is BCG vaccine. The test that was used to detect tuberculosis test within 1 hour is TrueNAT test. So under TrueNAT test, we have a portable machine that has a microchip in it. With the help of that microchip, we can detect the tuberculosis. The same TrueNAT test is also used for detecting SARS-CoV-2 and hepatitis as well. Next, BPAL treatment. This BPAL treatment is a short duration treatment. The duration is of 6 months, where we would be giving a patient all oral drugs for to treat highly drug resistant forms of TB. So the BPAL stands for B means bedaquiline drug, P means pretomanid, and L means linezolid. So under this treatment, we would be giving the combination of all 3 drugs. Moving forward, next question. Which of the following states share their boundary with Bhutan? Sikkim, West Bengal, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh. Select the correct answer using the code given below. 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1, 3 and 4 only, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So here it is Bhutan. So it shares boundary with Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, West Bengal and Sikkim. So Bhutan share boundary with Sikkim, West Bengal, Assam and Arunachal Pradesh. So the right answer is 1, 2, 3 and 4. Option D is the correct option. Recently, the Bhutan king has visited India. During his visit, they have discussed on the new routes of regional connectivity between India and Bhutan, and they were also discussed about upgradation of border and immigration posts to enhance trade and partnership between 2 countries. Some of the key highlights of the discussion were they have discussed in developing a new regional connectivity by developing a cross-border rail link between Gelufu in Bhutan and Kokrajhar in Assam. And they also discussed about to explore a plan about a second rail link between Samse in Bhutan, and Banharhat in West Bengal. They recalled about Operation All Clear military operation. This was a military operation conducted by a Royal Bhutan Army in the year 2003 against Assam separatist insurgent groups in the southern regions of the Bhutan. Let's look at some of the key facts about Bhutan. The longest river in the Bhutan is the Manas River. This is a transboundary river in the Himalayan foothills between southern Bhutan and India. Coming to the government in the Bhutan, it is a parliamentary monarchy system of government. So under this, the head of the state is king or queen, and they were limited by the constitutional laws. And the day-to-day affairs of the government, the day-to-day affairs of the country were carried out by the elected parliament. Bhutan shares its borders with two countries, that is India and Tibet. Tibet is an autonomous region of China. The Thimphu, which is capital of Bhutan, is located in the country's eastern part. Next question, consider the following statements regarding MiG-21. It is a supersonic fighter jet inducted in the Indian Air Force. It is designed by Aeronautics India Limited. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? One only, two only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. The right answer to this question is, it is a supersonic fighter jet inducted in Indian Air Force. Yes, it is true. It is a supersonic fighter jet. Second statement, it is designed by Aeronautics India Limited. No, it is not designed by Aeronautics India Limited. It is designed by a design bureau of erstwhile Soviet Union. So statement 2 is wrong. Which of the statements above is or are correct? One only were correct, right? Option A is the right answer. So why we have been discussing this news? Because the Indian Air Force has earlier announced that they are about to phase out this MiG-21 fighter jet, because this MiG-21 fighter jets have become obsolete, and they have also became prone to accidents. So this recently this MiG-21 fighter jets of the number 4 squadron Uriels of the Indian Air Force flew one last time over Uttarla in Rajasthan. About MiG-21, it is the first supersonic fighter jet in service of the Indian Air Force and was inducted in the year 1963. But what is supersonic fighter jet means? Supersonic fighter jet means the fighter jet that can travel more than the speed of the sound. It was designed by Mikoyan Gurevich Design Bureau of the erstwhile Soviet Union, and there were more than 800 variants of the supersonic fighter jets that have been inducted into the service. It is also mentioned in the news that these were replaced with light combat aircraft Tejas. So what is this light combat aircraft Tejas? This is a single engine, fourth generation multi-role lighter fighter aircraft designed by Aeronautics Development Agency. This Tejas was also developed in collaboration with Hindustan Aeronautics Limited for the Indian Navy and Indian Air Force and Indian Navy. LCA, Light Combat Aircraft Tejas Mach 1A, is the most advanced version of LCA Mach 1. It is a supersonic fighter that can be used at all altitudes for the air combat, and it can carry a payload of 3,500 kgs, and it is best suited for offensive air support. Next question. Klyachevskoy volcano, recently seen in the news, is located in Kamchatka Peninsula, Yucatan Peninsula, Iberian Peninsula, and Crimean Peninsula. So why this has been in the news? Because this volcano has erupted recently. So this is the right answer to this question is Kamchatka Peninsula. This is located in Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula, and this was erupted recently. And this is one of the most famous volcanoes in Kamchatka Peninsula. It is a highly active volcano. It has erupted more than 50 times since the year 1700. It is a stratovolcano. What is stratovolcano? See, when there were successive volcanic eruptions, the volcanic materials get deposited in the form of layers. So the layers of volcanic material get deposited in a conical shape. That is known as stratovolcano. What is the location of the Kamchatka Peninsula? This is located in the far east of Russia. Okay. On the east side of it, we have on the west side of it, we have Sea of Okhotsk, and the east side of it, we have Bering Sea. So this Kamchatka Peninsula is located in the far east of the Russia. On the west side of Kamchatka Peninsula, we have Sea of Okhotsk. On the east side of it, we have Bering Sea. This is Kamchatka Peninsula is one of the world's most concentrated areas of geothermal activity with more than 30 active volcanoes, and it is one of the largest peninsula in the world, and it is a part of the vast belt of the earth known as Ring of Fire, which encircles this Ring of Fire encircles the Pacific Ocean. It is also prone to eruptions and frequent earthquakes. What is the climate in this peninsula? They were severe with prolonged cold, snowy winters, wet, cool summers. Coming to the last question of this today's session, which of the following best describes the term deepfakes sometimes seen in the news? Option A, attackers access someone else's computer for mining cryptocurrency. Option B, a particular group is victimized by attacking websites which are frequently used by a targeted group. Option C, attackers target systems and flood them with traffic to exhaust their resources and bandwidth. Option D, use of synthetic media to swap the face or voice of one person for another. What is the right answer to this question? Option D is the right answer. So we have been discussing this question because recently this deepfake technology has emerged as a new threat to the humans, because humans have become more vulnerable to these harms of this deepfake technology. So what are deepfakes? Deepfakes are the synthetic media in which a person in an existing image or video is replaced by someone else. How it is developed? In this, deepfakes will leverage powerful techniques from machine learning, artificial intelligence to manipulate the visual and audio content with a high potential to deceive. And India doesn't have a legal framework against this deepfake technology and to ban this deepfake technology. But currently, there were few provisions under Indian Penal Code and Information Technology Act 2000 to deal with this deepfakes. So under section 500 of the IPC, it provides punishment for defamation, and under section 67A of Information Technology Act 2000, we have provisions that may be applied to certain aspects of the deepfake, such as defamation and publishing explicit material. So as of now, there is a high need that India need to frame a law against this deepfake technology, and also to invest in developing artificial intelligence that can detect the fake content, such as deepfakes content. So by this, we are concluding this session. I hope this session was helpful. Thank you.